I did my first regression 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago. I did it in New York. I had no idea about regressions at the time. And a colleague from the hedge fund where I worked gave me a book by Brian Weiss, Many Lives, Many Masters. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's a very entertaining read. And it happened to come to me at the time when I was suffering from a massive heartbreak. It was my first ever heartbreak. I was devastated. And just like the main character in Brian Weiss's book, um, who did not see any improvement from therapy, I wasn't seeing improvement from therapy, and nothing actually worked. Any self-therapy didn't work either. No amount of alcohol, partying, retail therapy. I was so miserable. And so that's why I jumped on this idea to do a past life regression session for myself. Because in his book, this is what helped the patient instantly. I love instant gratification. So I go to this guy somewhere outside of Manhattan. I can't remember where it was, maybe Long Island. And to my surprise, I start seeing things. I was actually completely shocked, and I did not understand where these visions were coming from. Because not only did I see images like in the movie screen, but I also felt the feelings of the person. I was seeing myself as this kind of different person. And in my first regression, I saw myself as some sort of prince. Of course. What else? I saw that it was some kind of ruler of some kind of country. Uh, and it seemed to be in Egypt. But I saw myself as a blonde male, tall blonde male with blue eyes. And so it was very confusing to me. And I kind of dismissed it because I didn't think it was possible or made any sense whatsoever, because that's not how we know Egyptians. It's supposed to be dark skin, dark eyes. And so I kind of thought that, maybe just my mind is screwing with me, whatever. I didn't really think much, oh, like this must have been real or this was real. Not at all. I thought, what happened? What did I just see? So here's what I see. I saw myself as a ruler of this kind of country. At the same time, I sensed that there was still like a bigger ruler above me. So I was kind of like running a unit of some larger kingdom. And I saw that already as a boy of like 5 or 6 years old. I was in love with this girl that was my playmate. To me, she was the woman. I was in love with her completely, entirely, and I did not notice anybody else. And I already knew that I was in love with her, like a grown up, at 5. Can you imagine seeing this and feeling this while at a session in Long Island? So, fast forward, I see myself already grown up, a grown man, and I want to marry this girl. Yet I sense that in this country or sub-country where I'm a ruler, a prince, there is a rule for women and a choice that they have to make. They can either get married and have family, or they can pursue education. I don't know why. This is what I saw. And knowing this woman that I was in love with, I expected her to choose education. She was very curious, she was very smart, very daring. It was no doubt in my mind that she would pursue education, but I was in so much love with her and I wanted her so badly. I made an exception for her so that she could both marry me and pursue education. In other words, become a priestess. So she became a priestess, but also married me. Again, please don't ask me how that was possible or whether or not it makes sense at all. No idea. And uh, we got married. Then I see myself going to what I call a mergers and acquisitions war. So basically, I went to annex some new territories, either to uh, my mini kingdom or this larger kingdom for this bigger ruler that I was reporting to. And I was gone for 8 years. In those 8 years, and I mean like as an I, this man that I saw myself as in this vision. And so I see that I did not look at another woman in the entire time, because the only woman that existed for me was my wife. I come back after 8 years, and the first news that I hear is that my wife cheated on me with the high priest. No one other. Oops. I was so devastated by this news. And in my heart, I knew it was true. I was so devastated and I felt so broken. And this is me sitting in Long Island, feeling devastated and broke. Emotions were just going through the roof. I felt such a massive heartbreak over this. And I felt like, well, if I loved somebody this much, if I've given them my all, I've never looked at another woman, and this is what I get. I can't even get loyalty and love back. And obviously, I immediately assumed that she did not love me because she's done that. And I decided that what's the point of loving at all if even if I love that much, it cannot be true, it cannot be mutual. So I relived or remembered myself disowning love. And those are exact words that I felt. Disown love. I never want to be in love again. And I close my heart forever. Then I see myself leaving the same night at the first signs of dawn. I went back to those territories which I was conquering and annexing without even talking to this woman, my wife, never to return again. So I never ever saw her again. And I died alone and sad and with a broken heart. And that vision shifted my perspective because in the past life regression, the moment you die, your perspective shifts. And when I saw myself die, I saw that, wait a second, how is that unconditional love if I expect her to love me back and I expect her to be loyal to me? That's not unconditional, that's strings attached. But true love is a gift. We are the ones feeling the feelings. We are responsible for our feelings. We give them to the person that we love, but we cannot expect anything in return. I saw that that feeling that I felt, like, oh, she betrayed me, she let me down, was coming from underlying insecurity I felt. I've always felt, ever since I saw myself as a boy, that I was not good enough for her. I did not deserve her love. That's why I was making all of those exceptions just to make sure she does not have to take any extra steps. to make it so easy for her. And I saw that the root of the problem was in me, not feeling loved and lovable. That helped me to move on big time. Do you want to know like the most fantastical continuation of the story? Like more than 10 years later, I was in Egypt. I worked for this crypto startup at the time, and the founder liked to get us all in Egypt on the Nile and cruise the Nile up and down. And one time his wife wanted to go to Abydos. It's a place in the desert which has a Seti, the first temple. And she invited me to go with. Uh, she was accompanied by a healer, a Dutch lady, uh, maybe even on the same trip earlier at some other temple when we meditated somewhere. This is what she had us do, this guide. So she would take us to the temple and say, okay, in this place near this statue, meditate about blah, 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 like divine feminine or sacred male energy and support from men you receive. And it was really powerful. My entire view on temples changed. Before that, I thought, temple, church, I've seen one, I've seen them all. But yeah, she definitely made a difference. Egyptian temples were amazing. So at one of the temples, after meditating, I told her that I received the message in my meditation that I should heal her. Please understand, I was no healer. I've never healed anybody unless without knowing that. And she is a healer, not me. And yet I get this message that I can help her. So I just tell her, hey, I can heal her, can heal you. So whenever you want to be healed, let me know. She laughed. We both laughed. She said, okay, I'll check in with my guides. Okay, I just left it at that. I had no idea how to heal her anyway. Fast forward, we go to this Abydos place, and on the last day in Abydos, out of the blue, she comes to me and she's saying, Elena, can you help me? And I was like, sure, what can I do for you? And she's like, I need to ask you a few questions. And she sits down and grabs my hands like this, and she starts asking me very deep personal questions. And I start answering those questions. I wish I had recorded that session because I sounded so wise, so connected, and it seemed like it was hitting the chord with her because she just started crying in front of me. And as I was telling her the answers to her questions, suddenly it was like a jolt of, like a flash running through my body. And I realized that this is the woman from that first past life vision of mine, that she is that woman who cheated on me with the high priest. Can you imagine? Oh my God, it was crazy, but it was like electricity going through my entire body. And I recognized her. It was like 100% accurate. The craziest part is that everything that I was telling her was exactly true. It was exactly accurate about what happened in that life as well. I loved her so much and I left her. And she told me, I don't know what to do because men love me so much, but they keep leaving me. Why is that? And so after I saw that it was her, I started crying and I started telling her, I am so sorry I left you. Can you imagine? Look, my eyes are welling up even now. It was such an heart opening moment. And I was asking for her forgiveness. And I'm so sorry. I love you so much. I will never leave you again. Oh my God, we were both crying. It was crazy. But then we both felt happy. She saw that life, although she was only able to see that love from my perspective, not hers. So she did not see, like, oh yeah, I see myself. I was your wife. Nope, I don't know. But the healing part worked, believe it or not. Like literally within 3 or 5 weeks, and don't remember exactly, she got a boyfriend, and it's been already nearly 3 years since they've been together. He's very handsome, like seriously handsome. He kind of looks a little bit like one actor, I can't remember his name, a little bit like Vin Diesel, but there is a better actor, like a bit closer to that guy's looks. Anyway, he looks phenomenal. He's tall, handsome, and he loves her so much. And he's with her. Can you believe it? Healer. If you need a healer for romantic problems, I mean, you know where to find me. So, this was my crazy first past life memory regression story. Whew. Hope you liked it and enjoyed it.